Good afternoon. Welcome to the City Club of Cleveland. I'm Len Calabrese, past president of the board of directors. Controversies over how to deal with immigration and who is an American go back to the earliest days of our history. A famous New Yorker cartoon popular among American historians when I was studying at Northwestern University showed pilgrims standing on Plymouth Rock holding signs that said, "Aliens go home," as ships approached in the distance. Waves of welcome and rejection, attraction and fear of immigrants mark different periods of U.S. history. Today's City Club Forum comes on the heels of the U.S. Justice Department's lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of Arizona's tough immigration enforcement and restriction legislation. We have a timely panel discussion with different perspectives related to that development, as well as the overall role of immigration in American society. I will introduce our panel in reverse alphabetical order. Margaret Wong, an immigrant herself, heads a major national immigration law firm. She has a reputation as an expert, a national reputation as an expert in that area, and is a respected civic leader. She is the author of The Immigrant's Way and is an Ellis Island honoree. Stanley Miller, after a distinguished business career with Ohio Bell, has headed the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP for 4 years and is an ardent voice for civil rights and social justice. An ordained Methodist minister. He has recently been appointed the pastor of Schaefer United Methodist Church. Richard Herman heads a large multicultural, multilingual law firm and is one of the founders of TIE Ohio, which he now co-chairs with Beju Shaw. He is the co-author of Immigrant Incorporated and has become the Johnny Appleseed of promoting and consulting on immigrant entrepreneurship as an economic development strategy, especially for Midwestern cities such as Cleveland. State Representative Courtney Combs from Butler County has been in the Ohio legislature 7 years, is one of the leading advocates of immigration regulation in Ohio. He has introduced legislation that would require the use of E-Verify, prohibit sanctuary cities, and identify the citizenship of anyone who is arrested. Having just recently returned from his second trip to the Arizona border, Representative Combs is spearheading an effort to put a citizens initiative on the Ohio ballot in 2011, which would be, that initiative would be similar to the new immigration law that was recently signed by Arizona Governor Jan Brewer. And we will begin now with our distinguished panel with Margaret Wong for 5 to 7 minutes, which each panelist will have. Margaret.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here amongst a lot of my friends. I've been coming here for more than 30 years. We've seen each other through the years, and I still remember those days when Women's City Club was next door to this City Club. And I hear this, oh, and then it's such an honor for us not to join the Male City Club. Of course, we failed and you won, so now I'm a member, a long time member and supporter.
We're all together.
That's right, we're all together. It's just so wonderful to be here on the podium that all the presidents and all the senators have spoken. Regarding immigration, it's really an interesting issue. I love the practice. The practice of law is different from the policy issues and the introduction of legislation. As any criminal lawyers know, our job is to keep our clients out of jail. Tax lawyers, our job is to keep our clients not filing late. If filed late, how do we remedy the 3 times civil penalties and stuff like that? Same thing with immigration lawyers. How do we protect our clients so they don't get that illegal that they could not get a driver's license, they could not get a social security number, and they will be deported? all right? But in my 35 years of practice, I've never seen people, may I use the word, so stupid. Immigration is a civil thing. It's like there's two kinds of law in America. You have civil law and criminal law, right? Because America is only 200 years old. We came from England, the common law. There's only two types of law, civil and criminal. Immigration is a civil law. Since when do we put immigrants who doesn't have driver's license in jail for 45 days and deport them without a day in court? I mean, since when did that happen? America is the best country in the world. I mean, now the way it's going, and I'm not saying people are right or wrong, it's just we are becoming, you know, with the wars in Iraq, with the wars going on in the world, and somehow I think we are losing our moral compass, whatever we are saying that. And being nice doesn't cut it. We know that. You have to be mean and tough to be the king of the world. But on the other hand, though, if you look at it, it doesn't make sense to be anti-America, because it's not in our best national interest to be against people of different color and stuff. Because what's the definition of undocumented immigrants or illegal immigrants? If you read my book, I'm not pitching it, I gave you a copy, and I'm so thankful I'm inviting here that I gave you all a signed copy, because I just want you to understand this issue that's so dear to my heart. So on the practice itself is really a lot of fun. As you know, the practice of, for example, we went to MBA school, we went to medical school, we go to law school. Lawyers are trained to think present setting. We are not trained to be creative. You cannot say, hey, I want an illegal immigrant to stay in America, so he's going to stay. You can't do that. We accept the fact that immigrants, there's some legal, there's some illegal. And in the olden days, if you think about it, like going to America is like the dream, like the Exclusion Act in 1890s. There's no woman, it's only prostitutes and males. So a lot of Chinese came to build the railroads, and somehow their people stay. So if you read my book, immigration law is about history. How did the Jews come to America? How did the Irish came? How did the Italians came? It's really a lot of fun. Now, the practice, again, is different from policy and arguments and congressmen and senators. How could someone from Southern Ohio, we should be worried about creating jobs in America. We should be worried about giving people not into bankruptcy homes. We should be worried about the financial. Why are every time we overcharge a credit card, we are penalized $3? Why are we worried about immigrants who are here illegally? Let them come, let them work. They create tax base, they pay taxes. And better for us who is older here, I'm 60 years old, do you know illegal immigrants, their money goes into the Social Security bank, and they cannot even claim it. So let them pay our tax, but let them stay. Why deport them? They're going to come back tomorrow. So in fact, until I meet Mr. Combs, and I found you very wonderful and charming, and not a monster that I thought you are, but that's wonderful. In fact, I was doing my pitching. I'm saying, maybe your legislation is a good legislation, but in the meantime, give us driver's license, so at least it's not racial profiling. So at least we can buy a used car. When we take a used car, time is up, for e-check, we don't get to jail for 45 days, because I actually have clients that looks Mexican, that looks Chinese, that looks Arabic, that looks Jewish, that go to get e-check, and now before they even pay, before e-check make their $27, before they pay for a driver's license, before they pay for registration, they got kicked into immigration jail for 45 days, and their bosses lose a good worker. What is America doing? Are we nuts? Of course we want the same thing. We want safe border. We want not to stand in line in the airport and check all your luggages. Do you have any computer? Do you have any liquids? But Ohio, we need jobs. We need tax. We need people. We need people to buy our houses. Give them free housing. Let them come. And I'm not being that radical. It's just like the old woman's feminist days. But I think my time is up. But we are having fun. Yes.